Welcome to Wives on the Island. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jessica, and today we're going to be talking about, we'll do a quick recap like we usually do, and then we're going to discuss bank accounts in a marriage, and then finish up with our two pop culture topics. So, how have you been this week?
I'm struggling. So all of our southern listeners, school is out for the summer. We are on summer break, and I now, instead of having one child home, I have two, and my son is he's just pulling me from every angle. Jessica, in the past 2 days, I probably played Candylands 27 times. And then we do this other game. We do Break the Ice, and he's I guess it wouldn't be so bad if I could take them outside, but the weather here has been absolute crap and raining. And in the morning we'll go for a walk and get them out of the house, and then as soon as my daughter goes down for a nap, I'm like, do you want to go outside and play basketball? Because he's super into basketball right now. Can't, because it's downpouring, literal thunder, lightning, lights are flickering, and I know this is typical Georgia, but I'm it's just driving me crazy. So over it. I did sign him up for a soccer camp next week, which I'm oh my god, my little baby is gonna go to a soccer camp at the high school. It's 3 hours Monday through Thursday, and so he'll do that just to get out of the house and do what he likes to do. But other than that, it's him and I and my daughter, and it's just, we're struggling. Instead of taking one child to food shop, it's two, and it's just everything is just such a ordeal now. And my husband's been working late. Well, not working late. He's been having work dinners with coworkers and other vendors coming in. So he's been he's not home right now. As you can see, my dog is with me. She's lonely.
That scared the crap out of me. I feel with things in the background. So it scared me. All of a sudden it moved, and I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, it's your dog. Okay.
Yeah. She's lonely downstairs. So I guess she usually doesn't want anything to do with us, but I guess she's super lonely, and here she is. Her name is Portia. She is 13 years old, and it's so funny. I think I told you I recently saw a coworker I haven't seen in years, and I mentioned the dog, and he was like, I was going to ask your husband about the dog, but I was like, there's no way this dog's alive. And I'm like, nope, she's alive and well. Kicking. So yeah, she honestly is up here because she's probably just so overwhelmed with the day. The kids just rag on her all day. And she's so good. I even told because my son likes to play with her tail, as the dog's walking by, go that with her tail, and I'm like, don't pull her tail. Do you know any other dog would turn around and bite you? You're lucky that she doesn't bite you. So stop doing that. Dogs don't like their tails to be pulled. So even the dog's over the summer break. Everybody's just over summer break.
And the sad thing is it's been 2 weeks.
I know. I'm hoping that with next week with summer camp, the week goes by fast, and then we're going to New Jersey for 2 weeks. And then if he likes his summer camp, they're also doing a July session, so I'll put him in the July session as well. And then that's only 2 more weeks to bring us back into the school year, since we start August 6th. Okay. So yeah, so I'm trying to, maybe being in New Jersey will give me a mental break, because sometimes I feel even it's when you go by your parents and you're not doing anything, but it's not they don't cook the way you do. They're not, it's just not your house. And especially with young kids, it's hard to be in other people's house. So that's difficult, but it's my mom and dad are on the cooking, on the cleaning. I just sit back and relax most of the time. So I'm hoping that is just a break for me mentally, because sometimes you don't need a vacation from your kids. You need a vacation from all the doing the dishes, vacuuming, keeping everything up to date. It's I don't get me wrong, I love not going on vacation with the kids and just my husband, but sometimes I like to go just away with them, and it's just a break, because it's not in my house. They say it's not a vacation, it's just a relocation, but sometimes that's needed.
A lot of times it's needed. I really think it is. I think it's just because you're not in your normal schedule, and it just gives you you don't feel overwhelmed.
Exactly. And I did have to yell at them today, so I'm going to be drinking some tea here as well, because I hit an octave that just didn't sit well with my throat.
So you weren't gentle parenting. Is that
absolutely not. Honestly, it wasn't even that crazy. My daughter was doing something, and I'm come here. She's not listening. And when you're just quiet, and then you're get over here, and it just hit an octave that it just strained it. And honestly, she didn't even flinch. She got upset that I yelled, but she didn't flinch. Meanwhile, my son like jumped out of his skin like 2 feet in the air, and he's like, "You scared me, mommy." I was like, "I'm sorry." I was yelling at your sister. So, but other than that, everything is going well. I'm trying to get through the rest of the week here. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, it's so funny you were talking about the weather here. The weather has sucked. I feel like this is not even Georgia summer weather because it's rained every day. Like I want to go.
It's like May weather.
Yeah.
Or even April.
Like, yeah, it's trash. Like even today I left because we were at work and I was in a meeting and this like strike of lightning hit and then the thunder made the building shake. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how powerful it was. I was like, when I got out of this meeting, I have to go home. It's going to be, it was like 3:00. Listen, it was downpouring.
I'm sure.
It took me forever to get home because it was like, I couldn't even like see. I was just like, please don't let me hit anybody. I was just driving because I was like, I'm not pulling over. I'm just going to bear through, do my 45 miles an hour. And I just, you know, I made it home, but it took forever. And I was like, this is not normal. Like normal Georgia weather is rain in the afternoon in the summer. Like, you know what I mean? Like it'll downpour for maybe like 30 minutes in the afternoon and then it's done. But I feel like it's just rained all day, every day. And I looked at this forecast for next week and it's literally going to rain from this Thursday until next Thursday. It's showing rain in the forecast. And I'm like, can we get a break? Can we get some sun?
By us, it is only raining in the afternoon. Today, it was pretty nice. And then I like saw the leaves start like... And I was like, I have a couple things outside. Let me bring them in. And then I had to leave at 3:00 because I had to go pick up a Sam's Club order. I did not leave at 3:00 because it was pouring. But it only poured for like 45 minutes. So, and then it stopped and I think it's been fine ever since. So I feel like here it's also very climated.
Yes.
And I'm in that like typical, but it usually doesn't rain like this like every single day like that in June in Georgia normally.
Right.
It's like more of like earlier in the year.
Yeah. So, and then I listened to a different podcast. There's a different podcast. It's my favorite podcast. And the guys are doing a 60-day like snatched like thing where you just like work on your fitness for 60 days. And like they have like a little group and like you have to do like you have to hit 8,000. It's not like super hard. It's like 8,000 steps. You have to work out for like 45 minutes continuously every day.
Every single day?
Yeah, a 45-minute workout, which isn't that bad when I think about it on the whole. Like, but I run, right? Every
day. Or 4 times a week.
Every other day. But when I run my 2 miles, it's not 45 minutes. It doesn't take me 45 minutes to do 2 miles. So I've been like going for walks after work. And then like I go, and then it's like you have to be outside for 10 minutes. So I've just been doing like walking every day when I get home. And I'm still doing my running. But it's been nice. Now the thing that's been killing me, and you know it's my struggle. It's always my struggle. You're supposed to drink 3 liters of water a day.
What's 3 liters?
Comes out to like 95 ounces of water. I'm pretty sure it's like...
95 ounces? Hold on, I have this here. This is 64. So one...
Okay.
I drink... this is my second one, and I'll finish this by...
So, whatever.
So, then you just need like... That's not bad, Jess. You could do it. You need one of these bad
I need a big one, because at work I have my 34... Like, I have my 34-ounce one.
Yeah,
and then I fill that up twice, and that's like 6. And then I'm like, oh, well, when I get home, I'll drink, a little bit more.
And
but it's
don't
just
drink?
been hitting... I do, but it's like it takes me. I'm like literally like chugging water right before I go to sleep in order to hit the 3 liters.
Listen, as long as it's in your system,
like
I feel like
it's been a struggle, Alyssa. It's just been because I hate water. I mean, I really do. I hate water, and I've been trying, and it's like, and then they like you stick to a diet, but like my diet is calorie deficit, so it's like they're like, and don't cheat, but like with my calorie deficit, I make sure that I could have like a
you
nice
can
Reese's.
Cheat.
Yeah, like I could have a Reese's piece. They had donuts today at work. I wasn't expecting it, but they were there, and I had one. You know what I mean?
Kind
like,
of donuts?
But guess what? So I had like a cinnamon and sugar twist, like color kind of thing. Yeah. So
when I meant kind of donuts, I meant like Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy
Oh no. The girl at my
Duck
job,
Donuts.
she's like awesome. She goes to like this fancy place, kind of like Sarah's Donuts, kind of, but I don't know. It's in Lawrenceville that she goes and she stops. And I'm like, you're just the sweetest thing, because she brings them, and I was like, oh, she's like, Jessica,
Is she the sweetest thing though?
She is, because she keeps bringing us sweet treats, and I'm like, I want it, and I was like, you're just the reason I'm fat, because I can't say no when you bring them, and she started laughing. But yeah, so it was good, but I mean, I put it into my, make sure that I can have it for.
Yeah.
everything. So, and it's my favorite season, watermelon season. So I've been eating my watermelon every day, and it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. So it's pretty much been that, you know what I mean? Like just my starting this fitness challenge. And I do have to say, with the humidity that it's been, running has been killing me. Because it is so hard to breathe, and as humid as it is. When we went out on Sunday, I think my 3 miles took me 47 minutes. Alyssa, it was 74 degrees when we went out at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, but if the humidity is high, like...
I was like, yeah, and it was like I was sweating in places I didn't know I could sweat. It was so gross. So...
I wish you told me about your little fitness journey earlier. I would have done it with you.
You can start.
I honestly think I might, because like I have been so bad with like waking up early, like literally, like I'm not, like unless I'm really in like on a strict schedule, like I'm not really like a morning person. I used to, like when I went to like Burn Boot Camp and I was doing like 5:30 classes, I would be waking up, but I would also be going to bed at 9. And like right now where my life is, like I just can't be going to sleep at 9 o'clock. And I literally wake up probably like closer to 8 now, but my son is up at 7 o'clock. But well, I take that back. 7:30 I'm up.
Okay.
My son is up at like 7 though, and then he comes downstairs, and like as my husband's walking out the door, he's like, you should probably wake up. My daughter, sound asleep. She loves her sleep just like me, and I'm like, thank God, like one kid is like reliable. And she's always like been like that, like literally since 2 months old, that child has to have like be woken up. I have no complaints, thank you. Like, but with my son, like, so I feel like now that he's going to be going to camp next week, I really got to like get myself in gear. And I also don't want to like have such a terrible time getting back into a routine of waking up somewhat early when they go back to school or when he goes back to school. So I'm just like, I'm going to do it. I'll do it.
Well, you can, because it started on Saturday. So it's very easy to just jump. Like, I mean, it's only a few days in, and they check in, like there's like a little, because I follow them on Instagram.
Shout them out.
So it's the Shits and Gigs podcast with James and Fuhad. They're like my favorite. I love them. They've been my favorite. I've listened to them since they started. I want to say it's like 5 or 6 years now. And they're just doing a challenge. Now they have a Whoop, which is like the Amazon like Fitbit kind of thing. And so... it's like a step tracker. It tracks the recovery. It seems pretty awesome. It was too expensive. I wasn't getting it. I already have a Fitbit and I have an Apple Watch. So I was like, I don't need another thing to put on my wrist. But they track like all of their steps there. But they're like, it's not even, you don't even have to get 10,000. You just have to get 8,000 steps. And I was like, I can crush 8,000 steps every day. Yesterday, I went on a walk after I ate. I was like, I'll just go for a quick 45-minute walk. And my daughter's like, that's not quick. And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It's fast. I started walking and I just really liked it. I had my music on. I was just like in the zone. And I walked like usually where we run. And I was coming back and all of a sudden it was like the thunder started. And I was like, oh, please don't start raining. I was in like a white shirt and I had a white sports bra. And I was like, please don't open the... It didn't rain until I got home. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God, because that would have been rough. But yep, so that's pretty much been... what I've been doing. And I told you our air conditioner has broken down in our dual zone. So the upstairs is like 84 degrees. And so my fan is on. They're coming tomorrow to fix it though. So I'm super excited. It happens.
Yeah.
I feel like it happens every summer. I feel like it conks out every summer and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just something happens and it just decides it doesn't want to work. And I'm like, on the hottest days. So yeah, but that was pretty much my thing. It's my week. Yeah.
Well, not cool in the air conditioning.
Not cool, yeah. No, because the air conditioning sucks. But tomorrow it'll be fixed and we'll be good to go. That's all that matters. I'm not sure.
For sure.
Bank accounts in a marriage. So I definitely know that you and I we have two different takes on it. Well, maybe not even two different takes. We might have the same take, but we do different things. So, I think for us, we share a bank account. Everything goes into one account. We do have multiple accounts, like we have a savings account, and then we have 2 other bank accounts, and our money, but our names are on every account. Like, he doesn't have his own account, I don't have my own account. And then we go, like, that's just how it is. We just share an account, because I look at it as his money is my money is his money, and that's how we've always done our finances that way.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like a lot of people do that. So my husband and I, You don't think so?
No, everybody I talk to, well, so let me say this. I feel like, this makes me feel old, but I feel like the younger generation does not do that. Like when like at work, I don't know a lot of people who do that, like and they're younger than me. They don't share bank accounts. Now I know my parents shared bank account. They had a bank account. My husband's parents have a shared bank account. So it's like, that's what we came from. And I want to say when we started dating, I would put, just because my husband had a house and I wasn't paying any bills, so sometimes I would give him, like, it wasn't a lot, I wasn't making a lot of money, but like not half of my paycheck, but probably like 35% of my paycheck, I would give it to him so that way he could pay bills, because I was living at his house, even though, I still lived at home, but I was at his house most of the time. But yeah, it's always just been a thing. But I feel like the younger generation doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, so my husband and I have our own separate bank accounts, but then we also have a shared bank account. He has like a bunch of like investing. He has his own bank accounts, and then I have my savings and my own checking. And I will actually say right now it's only a shared one and I have my own. I don't know why, because when we had to move from TD Bank, because there's no TD Bank around here in Atlanta, so we moved to Chase, and we went to Chase. My husband opened his online, and then he's like, we need to go into the bank to create a joint one. I said, okay, no problem. So we went into the bank, and I said, I need to open a bank account on my own, and then we need to open a joint one. So we need to walk out of here with basically all said and done having 3 Chase accounts. That didn't happen. They basically just added me to his, even though they asked him all of these insane questions about the money and this and that, like I were going to open a new bank account. No, just added me to his and then created my own. And then she's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And this lady was giving me major shade. She's like, do you want to enroll in the overdraft security in case you go? And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. Yes, I'm only going to have X amount of money in my account, but do you see, you could see what my husband has in his, or right. And in a sense, his money is my money. If I need, I do just pull out of there. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't have the income, no income. But she was just so judgy, and she's like, do you want to enroll in an auto deposit? And I'm like, lady, do you want to put salt in the wound here? Obviously, I don't have an income. Can you stop? And then she's like, and if you want to check your credit score, you could do so right here. We could check it right now. And she was like, you can go ahead. And I was like, okay. And I clicked it. And when she saw it 8:30, she was very stunned. And I'm like, yeah, lady, what do you think I did before this? Right. I lived under a rock or something. I was like, oh, I was so mad. It was so degrading. I was so pissed. But I was like, you know what? I know my situation. I'm not going to worry about it. But I feel like a lot of people do what you do. And maybe it is just because it is an older generation, I guess. But I only know one other couple that does what we do. And my mother-in-law, she's like, oh, I think it's so crazy that you guys don't share a bank account. And personally for me, it's well, I have school loans that I just don't find it necessary for him to be paying off. And I'm not paying if he, because I said, when we were dating and everything, he would buy all these cars and buying all these things. And I'm like, I'm not paying for that. That's on you. So it was very divided because we lived below our means and stuff like that, or at our means, and we were able to do a little spending money. And I'm to see what I'm doing. He doesn't want me to see what he's doing. And but there's that trust. You need to have that trust because there are some people that could be gambling away their money, and then they're I have no money. So obviously this is not for everybody. You need to know your partner, and you also need to know your partner if you're going to do a shared bank account, because they could also just run you dry over there.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of couples too just need to talk about this more, how they are going to do it. I mean, my grandma, I remember when I was getting married, she always, I think it was at my bridal shower, I had little cards on the table, and it was great advice to the bride. And my grandma was always be have your own bank account no matter what, because you don't know what happens in life, and you think you know a person, and then something happens, and then they could screw you in the end. Obviously you go into your marriage and you're that's never gonna happen to me, but you never know. So that's why she always said that. But I mean, would I feel comfortable putting just having a bank account with my husband? Yeah. I don't care. To be honest, like, I monitor our joint one more than he does. He really doesn't, like, so I'm more of on top of it, but he has all his other stuff.
I'm going to be honest, I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't. I know that I know, like, what bills we have that are coming out. I know, like, what he pays monthly. I don't know the amount of what he pays, but I know what comes in monthly. He pays that. And then, like, we have our, like I said, we have our savings account. If he needs to draw from the savings to add to checking or whatever he needs to do, he lets me know. And we're not, I think that the thing is, like, some people believe in, like, I should have my own money and he should have his own money and we could spend, whatever. Nobody has to see what we spend. And that's awesome. I don't have a problem with that. But my thing is that I'm not spending. I mean, I'm not a big shopper. And if I want to spend money, I could spend money. I don't have to. It's not like there are some people who are like, well, do you have to ask your husband for money? No, I don't have to ask my husband for money. Now, do we have rules? If we're over a certain amount of money that we want to spend, then I'll be like, hey, I would like to purchase this amount of money. You know what I mean?
Just a heads up.
Just a heads up that this is coming out of the account. Or do we have bills that we have to pay, and right now this isn't a good purchase? You know what I mean? Like, but very rarely. I would say, I spend more money on groceries than I probably do anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, that's my high spending and that's for the family. It's not like I'm buying my own groceries and being like, screw you guys, but, like, that's probably our highest purchase. You know what I mean? Every once in a while there'll be a $50 deposit from Amazon, but I'm going to be honest, my husband's a bigger spender than me. We get Amazon packages, I would say daily, and I would say that 97% of the packages come from him.
Yeah. I used to be, like, a big Amazon person and, like, literally same thing, like, sometimes multiple packages a day, like, to be honest, like, it was so bad. But then I was like, you know what, like, I really need to cut down on, like, what we're spending. And he does spend more, like, overall, and I've, like, really cut back on my Amazon. But I will say the one caveat that we found, like a black hole in our whole situation of having two separate bank accounts but then having the shared one. It's like, well, we put X amount into our joint account to pay for X, Y, and Z, but when it comes to food shopping, who's paying for that? Because then it's like, well, I paid last week, well, you paid this week. And it was like kind of like we didn't want it to get like a resentment kind of thing. So, like, now being a stay-at-home mom, it's, like, kind of easier in that regard because it's, like, it's all coming basically out of the same pot here.
Yeah, but I guess my question would be, why does it matter who's paying? You guys are both eating the groceries.
Yeah, because, like, it would just be, like, okay, so let me go into this as I'm working, like, back in, like, 6 years ago. I have an income, he has an income, and then, we're putting the same amount into our joint account. Because, like, one weekend we'll go food shopping, and it's not coming out of our joint account, it's coming out of our regular account.
Yeah, but why doesn't it come out of your joint account, since you guys are both eating as my thing? Like, it's a joint expense.
I guess we could have put, like, more money in there. I don't know. We just never did that. And so we'd be like, well, this week I paid $400 for groceries, but you paid $200 last week, so things like that. And like I said, now moving into it, it's just easier with just all of it coming out of one because there's no, like, this or that. But I think what you said, it's like, I feel like there's some people that are very controlling, but, like, the biggest thing is having an open communication. Be like, hey, if you spend over X amount of dollars, just give me a heads up. It's not like,
right.
And is it like, would I say no or something? Or, like, could he say no? Yeah, absolutely. Because if it's not the right time, like, for example, we want to give my brother for his wedding, like, a gift a little early, but it's a good amount of money, and, like, we've been spending a lot of money with the renovations that we've been doing. So my husband's like, let's just wait a couple months. His wedding is not until November, but we'll probably give the gift a little early just to help them out and if they need it. But it's like, let me, like, recoup some of that money, right. Before we give it. So just, like, kind of those situations,
right? And I think that's how we are too. It's like,
yeah,
we're not going to say no, but like you said, like, do we have a vacation coming up? Now my daughter's going to college. How much money are we going to be putting out for that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff like that. It's like, he'll be like, is it a necessity?
Yeah.
And most of the time it is. When I purchase, I'm going to be honest, when I buy stuff, it usually is a necessity because I'm not a shopper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it, like you said, if something big is coming up, I'll be like, hey, this is what I want to spend money on. Do you have a problem with it? And then, he'll say no, and then I'll just do it. You know what I mean? Even like when we went to Costa Rica, I didn't really need $200 worth of clothes, but I bought it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I wanted my $200. I returned a good amount of it, but
Yeah.
he wasn't like, don't do it. But it was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I think,
What's
like I said, I think you just need to have open communication. I feel like that is
For
the
sure.
big thing, is just be open with each other.
What's the most expensive thing you ever bought for yourself? Like not house, like
For myself,
yeah, like in all the years in your 40 years.
I have no idea.
Really?
I have no clue. I have no idea what the most. I have no idea because I don't spend like that. You know what I mean? Maybe
No purses, no perfumes, no jewelry.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said,
Well, good for you.
yeah. I mean, Alyssa, this is my purse. Like I have all my stuff in my little cell phone. So that is like I don't carry a purse. Like you know what I mean? Like I have purses, but I don't carry them anymore. I literally just have my I feel like I've got
Yeah.
simple. I mean, I would say clothes would be my biggest splurge. Like
Okay.
every
Like a
every
shopping
season I'll
clothes.
buy like new dresses for work or stuff like that. But I would say it's probably it. And the fact that my weight fluctuates, so I'm constantly buying.
That's literally
clothes.
me
I'm
right
like,
now.
do these pants fit today? And then in 2 months they might not fit, and then they'll fit again in 3 months. So it's just that's probably
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, like, whether I had a bank account or not, I would get the clothes, There was just some things, like, with the schooling, and, like, for Father's Day, I bought my husband a gift, and, like, I saved up on that, because I sell some things on Marketplace as well, like, my kids' toys that I bought, when I did have a job. But, like, I sell those things, or even, like, old things I just don't use anymore, and I'll sell on, like, our East Cop's mom classified these. So I've been saving up, and I bought him something nice for Father's Day. But, like, I can't take his money. And, as a stay-at-home, I can't take his money.
I take it.
Well,
Just
it's your
like-
money you're putting into
Right,
it,
it's mine,
though.
it's
It's
mine.
your money.
Right.
Like,
Right.
right now, my situation, like, our money is just basically his money, unless I'm selling things or,
Right.
like, doing
I was going to say, that
anything.
is the downside of sharing a bank account, because he can see everything that goes out, because he pays attention to that. So, like, when I buy him gifts, I'll be like, please don't look at the bank statement for, like, 3 weeks. Like, just don't look at it. And if you see this, don't worry about it. And, like, for Christmas, one year, I wanted to surprise him with basketball tickets, like
I
basketball
remember this.
tickets.
Yeah.
And I literally called my mother-in-law, and I was like, hey, I'm going to send you the money, but I need you to buy it, because he can't see that I was, on the
Yeah.
Falcons website buying tickets, and he, and she was like, oh, okay. So, like, that is the downside, is, like, I can't surprise him with anything. Like, when I bought him the bracelet with our kids' names on it, he was like, what's this? An Etsy purchase. And I was like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, what is it? And I was like, don't worry about it. And then when I said, like, don't worry about it, like, 3 times, he was like, he let it go. Because
Yeah.
then I guess he realized it was for him. But it's
for
like,
him, yeah.
yeah, but it's because usually if I'm going to spend, and like I said, I don't have to tell him at $78, but usually if I'm spending like $78, I'm telling him, like, hey, this is what I got. And,
Yeah.
and he was like, what is it? And I got it. And like
Yeah.
for one Father's Day, I bought him, there's like a mixed, he's big into, I can't think of what those things are, old fashions. So like I went on
okay.
Mixologist, and I got him a box, and it's like to make different ones. It has different like bourbon, it has different like,
Well, that's so
I don't know,
cute.
flavors and stuff like that. Yeah, so I was doing that, and that was like 120. And he's like, you spent $120 on that? And I was like, he's like, they're like airplane liquors. And I was like, shut up and just accept it.
Yeah, right.
But it was like, it ruins it, because he knows that. That's the one, I would say, the one downside of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like by the time my husband checks the bank account, it's long, the
Yeah.
event, the gift, gone,
Yeah, no, my husband checks, I'm pretty sure he checks like every week. Well, because, when the bills come in,
Yeah.
he'll pay. So then he'll take a look.
Now, question, do you guys, are you guys like credit card users?
No, we have one. So we have one credit card. Well, I
And
mean,
do
we
you-
have 2, but we use one credit card, and we're both on it.
Yeah. Okay. And then because like we only use our credit cards. We pay it off like literally every time we get paid.
And that's what we do. We don't. I don't think I ever use my debit card.
Okay, that was
ever.
my question.
Unless
Okay, yeah.
unless I'm going somewhere, because our credit card is American Express. So
and
like
it's
the
like
only time
everywhere.
I'll use my debit card is if I'm at like Costco, because Costco doesn't take American Express. So then I have to use my Visa check card. But that's
Gotcha.
really or that and my children's pediatrician, they only take Visa.
Yeah.
They don't take, you know.
Gotcha.
So like those are the only times I'll ever use it, but we put everything on the American Express cards because we, like I said, we have two of them, but we really only use one, and we put everything on it and then pay it off because we get points and all that kind of stuff. So there's no
Yeah.
point in.
Yeah. So I guess this is like, well, even though we're not like, we have like our separate, I mean, I guess at this point we can just say we have one account because it's all of like his money, but we have separate credit cards and we're both on them. And I'm pretty sure he has access to mine, but he doesn't check it. So we just like pay it off from the same bank account. But like, it's nice because he's not looking at my purchases. So like if he, and like I said, it's mostly groceries to be honest, but if I do want to buy him something, he's not like looking through my stuff and being like, what is this? So even if we, since we have the separate credit cards, you know, I have, honestly, we have the same credit card, just the Visa, oh my God, the Visa Capital One Venture card. And then, because it's a travel card, so like we save so much money when we travel because it's a lot of credit that we get back. And we can even, because we have a lot of points, like when we go to do a travel or we book something, we just call Capital One and we're like, hey, take my points and transfer it to him. They're like, you give authorization, we give authorization. And then we have like $500 worth of travel points to like, you know, go towards a vacation. So that's another reason why like we, you know, only use credit cards, but yeah, it's all coming from the same place. But I think the biggest like takeaway is like communication, because luckily we do have very like financial, like literate husbands.
Yes.
But like not everybody is like that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my husband is very like I said, I could text him right now and be like, how much money is in our accounts, and he would know to the penny. Like that's how good he is. Meanwhile, I'm like, we have money, and like,
yeah.
But I've always been like that. Like credit cards, I'm like, it's just free money, and my mom's like, that's not how that works.
I'm not like
you
yeah,
know.
no.
I mean, I always paid it, but it was just like I didn't worry about it at the time. You know what I mean? And then when I'd get the bill, I'd be like, oh man.
Yeah. You know what, I guess because like obviously I'm a little younger than you, but like I guess because the way I grew up, it's like kind of credit cards were like always a thing for when I was growing up. So like I never look at it as like free money, you know? To be honest, I feel like cash is like, you know, like
cash is
it's
free
out of
money.
cash is free money, right?
Cash is free money. I know it's girl math, but cash is free money. Like
100%.
when we went to, what did we do? Oh, I collected for a baby shower, right? At work. So my husband was like, so some people gave me cash. I want to say like 3 people gave me cash. So I was like, okay, I'm just so you know this, and then everybody else like Zelled me money.
Yeah. So you just put it all.
So he was like, I was like, oh, okay. So I paid everything. And he's like, well, where's the $40? And I was like, oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
And he's like,
absolutely.
but we took it out of the account. And I was like, yeah, but they gave me cash. So it's paid for. And he's like, but where is the cash? And I was like,
In
it's
my
gone.
pocket.
I've used it. I got my eyebrows done. I was like, because it was technically going back in our bank account. So I was going to use for my eyebrows anyway. So why does it? I was like, it's free. Don't worry about it. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever
No,
I have
totally
cash,
agree.
it's not real. Cash isn't real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like for me, it's not like, because I know like there are some people, and even like my mom, even though she's not that much older, like than you, but whatever, she's like, I don't want credit cards, it's not, and you know, because then, and it's just like that very old school mentality, and I'm like, it's still money. Like, I think that's the problem. Like, you still, like, I never look at it as like free money, or it's like, yeah, you can get like a couple extra, like instead of, because, you know, I don't want to say normal people, most people get paid every 2 weeks. So it's not like, you don't have to, I personally pay it off every 2 weeks, but like, you don't have to, you only have to pay it off once a month. So like, sometimes like people just get like an extra 2 weeks to like pay it off if you spend a little more 1 week than the next. So I could understand in that sense how it's good, but like, you should never, like, obviously don't spend more than you make.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know. But that's the only, like, thing that I feel like it has been easier at being a stay-at-home mom to kind of balance it. But yeah, I still, eventually when I go back to work, I mean, I feel like I'll always, even if like my bank account has like $100 in it, I'm always going to have it, like no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's just
no,
like,
I get it.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll just, I don't know, give it to my kids one day, or if like, you know, something comes up and be like, oh, I contribute an extra $100 you didn't know about, or something like that,
Right.
you know?
Look
But-
at me, so nice.
Yeah, but I like always saved up, and I was always like such a big saver, and I'm pretty sure like you're not a saver.
No, Alyssa, the money as fast as it comes in my hands is as fast as it went out the door. That's how I was. But it's so
Yeah.
funny because both of my children are savers. Like when we do allowance for like, especially my youngest one, when we do allowance for my youngest one, she'll like figure out what her allowance is, and she'll be like, please put half of that in my savings and half of that in my checking.
Aw.
And I'm like, girl, because
Hey.
if my mom gave me $20, it was all going in my checking, and
Yeah.
I was going to spend it that week. You know what I mean? Like, I needed press on nails, I needed to get my eyebrows done, and I needed, you know,
Yeah.
like anything I could think of, I was buying. So
Yeah, I mean, if I could, like, obviously I'm a big buyer as well, but it was like never like above my means. And like when push came to shove, like we paid for our wedding that was quite pricey, you know, it was like 250 people at a nice place in Jersey. Like, you do the math. Like, it was a
Right.
lot of money, and we both really saved like a lot as possible. And like, I'm pretty vocal about this. Like, I've had a boob job, and it was just like literally a hair under $10,000, and I paid all of that on my own at 22 years old. So like, I saved up because like 15, maybe even like 12-year-old Alyssa knew she was getting a boob job when the time came. Like, I knew it in my soul. There was never a doubt in my mind. So I was like, I need to start saving up.
See,
Like,
that's good.
as
If
a
I
12-year-old.
feel like if I had something that I needed to save up for, I probably
Yeah.
would. I can save.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. It's just, and now that I'm married, and now, like I said, now that it's not as exciting to me because like we get paid to go to work, and like my money,
Yeah.
I know where it goes, and you know, like that when you're a kid, I wasn't saving for crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
I feel
babysat.
like-
I worked. I mean, from 16, I was working, so I would babysit. I always had money. You know what I mean? Like I always had money, and then it was just. I think what hurt was when I had to start putting it in the bank, and then I didn't always have access to the money, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this sucks. You know what I mean? But I always,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I always had money, but I was always just a big spender. I'm definitely more responsible, and luckily, like you said, I have a husband who's very good at, you know,
finances
budgeting and
together.
everything like that and stuff like that. So my kids have gotten, I'm hoping that they get that. I don't know. We'll see when they get on their own, because I
Yeah.
feel like in the house, they're fine. What are they spending money on? We buy everything for them. But you know what I mean? This year, my daughter wants a pair of Tims, and my husband's like, okay, but you need a job. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm not buying Tims for you. First of all, we live in Georgia. You don't need Tims.
Yeah,
but
literally.
if you want them, you have to buy them yourself. And and my kids have been very good. Like they save up. Like
Yeah. No, we're already like instilling that into my 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old, because like he'll get money from like my parents or my in-laws or things like that. Like my mom sent my son $100 because he counted to 100. I'm like, I can count to 1,000,000. You want to hear me do that?
Right.
Like, you know, like, so he got $100, and we go to the store, and he wanted these Pokemon cards. And my husband is big into Pokemon because my son got into Pokemon. So now we're like buying Pokemon cards. Very unnecessary. I hate doing it. We bought these 2 packs, and it was like, came out to like $50. And I know. And my son's like, well, I have $100. Like, what am I going to spend it on? I was like, oh, well, you could buy these Pokemon cards that you want. And he goes, okay, how much is it going to be? I was like, it's going to be $50. He was like, $50? Maybe we just put one back. So, like, at 4 years old, he's already like, I don't want to spend $50 on
that's
this.
how my brother was. I would have been like, yes, let's do it. And then let's get 2 more because that's 100. Like that's how I would have been as a child. My brother was like your son. He's like, oh yeah. My brother
I'm
used to
sure
save.
my daughter will be like that.
She will. My brother used to save. So we had an uncle. We have an uncle, and he used to send us. This dates me, but
I like-
Jeffrey dollars.
I like how you
They're
know
like-
we had an uncle. We have
we
an
do.
uncle.
We do. We have an uncle. I was going to say, he used to, because he doesn't send us
Gosh.
Jeffrey dollars anymore. I'd spend them. I was like, Mommy, you got to take me to Toys R Us. I have to spend the money. And my brother saved them. And I was like, what are you saving them for? And his logic was, because at some point Toys R Us is going to close, and then the Jeffrey dollars are going to be worth more money than they're actually worth. Alyssa, Dean, I stole them and just, I was like, if he's not going to, if he's
Jessica,
not going to use them.
Toys R Us did close.
It did.
I know.
Nobody. I'm pretty sure Jeffrey dollars are not a thing.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look them up. I'm gonna
So,
go on
yeah.
eBay right now and see if
Please don't,
Jeffrey
because
dollars.
you know his wife listens to this.
No, he.
I mean,
needs
he
to
knows I
know.
took his money, but I was like, dude, you have to use it.
That is so funny.
You can't hope things are going to be. You know what I mean? Like, well,
Did you
who
know I used to
does
work at Toys R Us corporate in New Jersey?
that? Did you?
Jessica. Yes.
No, stop it.
Jessica.
Stop it. They're not worth anything, are they?
$199
For one?
for
For how
two.
much? Yeah, but how much?
$99. They're $1 Jeffrey dollars. Toys R Us.
You better.
Jeffrey Money 2. $1 1993 series gift certificate
ours-
sequential.
I don't think ours is 1993, but
This
cut
one is a
this out because we're
$5
not-
one. No, keep it in. Jessica, it's been, 30 years? I think he's over it.
He's not. When he finds out that it's worth the money, it's gonna restart the whole thing.
This one is 1990, $35. Okay, you know what? I think that the one guy is just a little greedy because they're really around I see 30 to 40 to 50.
Okay, that's not that
Okay,
bad. If
yeah,
he needs $30, I'll give him $30.
Yeah, no, it seems like that guy
thank
is just
God.
kind of greedy as
Yeah.
to because that seems like a lot. Hold on, I just want to see one more thing. Sold.
You're just making it worth.
I have to see. Okay, no, this is even better. So one sold. It was a $10 Jeffrey thing, but it was from 1988. $13. Then a bunch. Then a bunch from 1997 sold for 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them sold for 40. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
seeing anything.
Anything
Here.
drastic. Okay. So then I
But
don't feel
still,
as bad.
but still,
Take it-
but
I
that's
did
so
take it.
funny.
I needed to buy crayons and coloring books, and he wasn't, and he didn't.
That
He
is
wasn't
so
using
funny.
it, and I was like, dude, come on. So yeah, but it is what it is.
It
But,
is what it is.
but
What a
yeah,
rabbit hole we got down from the
we
bank
did.
account.
We went left pretty quick just talking about bank accounts.
That is so funny. But yeah, to
The moral of the story is
just
communication.
Communication and trust your partner before whether you're at the end of the day we both have bank accounts with our husbands, whether we also have additional ones or not. It's there's always that one there. So yeah, you just need communication and trust.
I love
So
it.
funny. All right.
So,
What's our
pop
next
culture.
pop culture? So this is one I chose. So Nara Smith announced that she's pregnant with her 4th child and with her husband Lucky Blue. Smith. And the reason I chose this story is I hate Nara Smith.
I know you did, and I was really shocked when you told me that was going to be your pop culture, because I was like, I thought you don't like her, and I was
Yeah.
telling
I'm
my
very
daughter,
happy for
and
her. I'm very
I
happy
called her
for
Nora. I called her Nora, and my daughter was like, I don't think that's her name, and I was like, well, she's like, she's the one who makes gum from scratch, and I was
Yes.
like, yes.
So you know what's funny about her? So one, I'm very happy for her. A baby's always a blessing,
Yes.
especially with all of the attention that she's gotten recently and the fame. Very happy for her and her family. Her videos they're like satire. And it's so funny because my best friend, she sent me a video one time on TikTok and I was like, oh, this is Nara Smith. I have her blocked. And she goes, you blocked? I just don't want to see her content. And I couldn't, the non-interested was not working because she was so popular. But the thing is I like what she's putting out there is very me. That's
It is.
so me. But like, I'm sorry, making Takis from scratch from your husband, go down the store, or your kids want cereal, but they have to wait 6 hours. Come on.
Right.
And like, and honestly, they're like, she's like, my kids wanted Fruit Loops today. One, how do they know what Fruit Loops are?
Right.
Liar. You know, like fraud. Like truly. Like, oh my God. I just thought about how we both hate Jim Carrey and Liar, Liar. Here she comes to the day. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's like just so like you're a liar. Like you give your kids eat these non-organic, non-homemade. How do they know? My child, and I'm not saying like I was making homemade goldfish, but my son didn't even know what goldfish were until he was 3 years old. One, I don't like them, and I do try to give him a healthier version.
Right.
Like, just eat cubes of cheese if you want goldfish, or with some bread crackers. Like, you know, like, I don't know, just, it's like just so unrealistic. And like, I know she's just doing it for her content, but it's just like so
My issue is the
irritating.
outfits.
I was
Who's
just gonna
dressing
say.
up like that when you're a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even put on a bra when I'm home by myself. There's no way I'm putting on an evening gown to make banana bread. First of all, I'm a hot mess. So there would be flour. And then that's another thing. How are you always working with flour and none of it gets on you? There's no way. There's no way. You have to be cutting that out.
I know. It's just like a fraudulent experience. What's the word? False advertising.
Yes.
Truly. So it's like Lucky Blue with that goddamn toothpick in his mouth all the time. I just want to like.
He's like an Elvis wannabe. He's a cutie pie, but he's like an Elvis. It's like an Elvis.
Oh, I
look.
don't find
I don't
him
know
like
how to-
attractive.
I think he's a nice looking guy. I don't think he's like hot or anything, but I think he's nice looking.
I think she's very pretty though. I do.
And you know what I get why she does, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, her whole organic is unrealistic. It's not. Like, she has eczema, and when you have that bad of eczema, because like I know my mom does, and like my mom doesn't get it all over her body. Like, well, actually she does now that she's older. She's started to get it all over her body, but it used to just be on her hands. My mom's hands would swell up, and so she would have to take out food like from her diet and stuff like that. So I understand like the importance, and coming from Europe where all this crap isn't in their food.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So it's like, I understood why she did it, but like mine, it's just too dramatic. Like, if you want
It's
gum,
too
like you said,
dramatic.
go to the gas station and get you some gum.
This is a message for
And who
Nara
has
Smith.
those ingredients? Who has,
I know.
what is it called? Xanthan gum or whatever it is? Like, who has that just hanging out in their
paste?
house?
I know.
Yeah. I'm like,
No.
you don't have that. You had to go search for it. Because Subway,
order
I mean,
it.
Safeway doesn't take it. You know what I mean? Like, Whole Foods doesn't have, like, who has that?
Subway.
I'm going to say Safeway.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm going to say Safeway.
And it's like you have to like order these things in advance, so it's like realistically taking you 3 days to make a pack of gum, if that. But this is like my message to Nara Smith. Download the Yuka app and then just like find healthier alternatives to like save you some time. So you're about to have a kid number 4. Like, be present with your child instead of being in the kitchen for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
It's so
like,
funny. I have a girl that I work with. She's the cutest thing in the whole wide world. I love her so much. And she's from India, and so when she moved here, there was a lot of foods like messed up her stomach. Like, she can't have like cow dairy and stuff like that. Like, even though she can have it in India, she can't have it here. And so she has the Yuka app. And there are some times where she's like, I'll have something that I'm eating. She's like, you want to see that on the Yuka app? And I was like, don't you fucking do that, because I don't want you to. She'll be like, Jessica, it's red. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care if it's red. And she's like, Jessica, you have to get it and go to the grocery store because there's a lot of things you won't eat. And I was like, and that's why I'm not doing it, because I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, personally, like, I feel bad for our listeners for like the 17th time during these episodes. I have belly issues, but like, so I have to like, I want to sans those things out, but like, even my husband will be like, okay, scan it. And then I'm like, it's bad. He goes, how bad? I'm like, 3. He's like, oh. You know, like, he's like, I'm not going to do that just like knowing it, but like I definitely try to do it for all of the kids things, like, and it's so hard to find healthy alternatives with their snacks, like bars and
Well,
fruit
if you
bars,
watch
like, things
Nara,
like
you
that.
could make your own stuff.
Girl, just Google what you want to do. You don't have to watch her, and it's so unrealistic. Like, she's like, there's other alternatives, like, and I'm okay, but like, okay, let me figure out how to make a healthy banana bread, fruit and bread. I don't need to be doing all this. And like cereal, like you don't even need to have cereal. Fruit Loops, that's just like a treat. Like give them like a cookie or something and call it like it all balances out. You know, it's just like, but that's the thing when it's like my kids wanted Fruit Loops today. I was like, how do they even know what Fruit Loops are? And it's like Lucky wants Takis. Like, is it really gonna hit the same? You're really gonna eat 4 Takis and like be like, yep, that's all I need. Because like if you're craving something like that.
She's super little, so I feel like her food intake is not that big. Oh, Lucky. He's little for too, Lucky.
Though. Yeah, I don't know. It just like,
you know, he's a model, so I feel like he's not eating much either.
Yeah, and I will say I am curious what they're gonna name this baby, because do you know their other
I know Whimsy Lou. That's the only one I know.
Lou. Let me see. Let me move kids. So there is. He actually has another,
He has,
child.
he has a child, because he was married before her.
Yes. Gravity Blue Smith was, that.
The one that he had before Nara.
Correct.
Okay.
And then, Gravity Blue Smith is who he had with the model Stormy Bree. And he was 19 years old. And she was a little older. There was like
she was a lot older. It was a big thing, Yeah. But then I think, isn't this same age gap between him and Nora? She was just younger than him. Nara. I keep doing that.
He's 27 and she's 23. So that's really not that bad. No. But so the Gravity Blue, Honey Rumble, Slim Easy, and Whimsy Lou. Slim Easy sounds nice, and like I kind of like Rumble Honey for some reason. But like,
I would never name my children that, but I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I like Slim Easy.
Nice.
Slim Easy
Me too.
It seems like a 1940 like somebody
Rap
who owns a gym and like boxes with Rocky. His name would be Slim Easy. Like that's how I like picture it, like that.
And Whimsy Lou is giving me Cindy Lou Ho.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, I wanted to throw a little something out there that I normally wouldn't, because I have since unblocked her. But she's still just like, thankfully she doesn't come on my stuff. Like, I actually was listening to another podcast is where I got this story from, and I was like, I should talk about that and tell Jess, because I forgot I told you that I don't like her, and like the way she talks sometimes, like, and I get it, it's very, but there's this
calming.
There's this other girl that I like. She does like her sourdough, but she like makes like blueberry croissants and she like stares at the camera really intensely, and she's like, let's make some croissants. And then like, I like her a little more better. It's a little more like upbeat rather than so like,
right.
So, but that's my pop culture story.
So I do have to say, just to kind of tie it all, do you know that they're Mormon?
No, I didn't.
They are. They're Mormon.
That's funny.
And I was like, woo. Yeah, when I found out, because I told you I have an obsession with Mormons. So
oh my God, Nara Smith on next seasons of Secret Life of Mormon Wives.
Oh my God. No, she wouldn't be with them because they eat a lot of Taco Bell and stuff. So she would not be hanging out.
She's like, let's make swig at home.
Yeah.
By the way, like off topic,
I want to try swig so bad.
We should take a little Wives on the Islands day trip and go up to Chattanooga, because there's one on the way.
I thought you were gonna say girls trip to Utah, and I was like,
if you want to, I'm so down. Like, I
would love to go. I just want to go for swig and to see some of the places.
I'm totally down.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we need.
But there is a swig, like, not
is there in Chattanooga?
It's like on the way. I think I might even be in Georgia, to be honest, but it's like on the way, because Chattanooga is like right out, like literally right over the line. So like,
we're gonna have to do that, because I want to try some of the different sodas.
Yeah, I'm down. You let me know.
I'm gonna try a dirty Dr. Pepper so bad. Like, I don't know.
I hate Dr. Pepper, but
honestly, I'd love it.
No, it's just that the aftertaste is like not good. But I'm not really a soda drinker, but I'll do the Pepsi. I'll do Coca-Cola. I'll do Mountain Dew. I'll do like.
See, I don't like Mountain Dew.
Oh, I don't mind. I mean, I'm more of a Sprite girl, but honestly, it seems like Swig, like if I'm not mistaken, like Demi or Whitney, what or both of them, their like drink at Swig is like seltzer. It's like
Yeah,
flavored
and you
water.
know I'm
So
not a
it's like
seltzer person. I'm not a seltzer person. You
I
know
am.
I'm not.
I am, but I don't really like flavored seltzer. I only like
Oh,
a
see,
lime
if
or
I'm gonna,
plain.
if it's gonna be seltzer, it has to be flavored.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
but yeah, we
so
should definitely do that.
we should definitely
Maybe
go in
we'll
there.
do that and document it.
Yeah. And then your pop culture story is a little more lighthearted as well, huh?
Yes, yes. So, did you hear about the zebra that escaped from the Tennessee Zoo? And he was just trotting around.
I did
Yeah, it was in
hear.
Tennessee.
I
He's
didn't
trotting
realize
around
it was
neighborhoods.
my God.
He was literally like in people's neighborhoods, which sidebar, I have to show you the video, but I came home from work maybe like a month ago and there was a goat in my front yard.
Lovely.
Like it literally like pranced from my neighbor's yard and as I was pulling in, cut in front of my car and just like went, I don't know
Where
whose
did
goat
it
it was
come-
because nobody
Oh.
was, I have no idea. I don't know. But it was just
Okay.
trotting around my neighborhood and it made me, and so when I saw the zebra trotting around the neighborhood, I was like, reminds me of my goat. It's in our neighborhood.
Please, the way this zebra was airlifted, because you sent me the video.
Who's
The
that?
way this,
It's my
who's getting that
favorite
bill?
video.
Who's
Right.
getting that bill?
I don't know, but they like captured him. He was out. He escaped from the zoo for like a week, Alyssa. He was just living his best
week?
life. It was a week. He was gone for like 4 or 5 days.
And nobody
Yeah.
saw a
Well,
zebra
everybody saw him.
until-
They just couldn't get it. Like they couldn't
How?
because I don't know. I don't know. They were like they have like video of him like running in like different fields and stuff, but like
my
they couldn't get
gosh.
him. So when they finally got him and he's in the little helicopter and he's like swinging around, it's my favorite video. He's just like swinging and he looks like he's living his best life. He doesn't even look scared in there. He's just like chilling in like a
Somebody
little
needs-
cocoon.
Somebody needs to like make that edit where they like do like the Dr. Dre like da 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 with the glasses over him in the helicopter and like thug life
should.
under it.
Yes, because he was
Oh my
just
God.
like it was my favorite thing to see. And when I saw it, I was like, "This is hysterical." I was like,
That is really funny.
First of all, I need them to do better security because
Yeah, how does
I mean,
a zebra escape?
a zebra is at least safe. Can you imagine if it was like a wild lion or a tiger
Yeah.
that got out? Like, who's allowing this? But I mean, he was a lot of fun. You know, like I said, they were tracking him, and I loved every time they tried. They were like, "Oh, he was sighted again." And some lady was like, "If I was driving home." And just saw a zebra walking around my neighborhood, I would think I was having hallucinations.
I know, right? I would be like,
And,
there's
like,
no way
because
that's
why
a
is there
zebra.
a zebra? Yeah.
I would
And
be
was
like, that's some, wow, look how horrific somebody painted that horse like a zebra. That's literally what I would.
horse.
Yeah, like what animal abuse? Somebody's painting horses now? Like that's literally what I would think. Like there's no way
yeah.
there's a zebra. That's
So
so
for
funny. No,
anybody
I
who
love
hasn't
that.
seen it, you need to go online and see that. So it was great. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Love that. I will add just maybe a little impromptu. So, as everybody knows, probably especially you, everybody in my personal life knows, I am obsessed with Chris Brown.
Yes.
And he started his tour last night, and the set list came out of the songs he's
Oh, I
gonna
think you
play.
sent it to me. I haven't looked at it yet, but I saw you
Jessica?
sent it to me.
57 songs. Wow.
I heard he puts on a show.
Yeah, I've seen him twice before. One time it wasn't that
see.
great. But I saw him.
Is that when he was
with-
on the drugs?
Possibly. He didn't even play Run It. And I'm like, how do you not play Run It? That's like
Yeah.
what got you here, sir? Like, you play that song. It was disappointing. But the first time I saw him, I was on the floor, seats, not on the floor.
I was like, wow.
I cried though the first time. I was like, this
Did
is
you?
but like dreams. Yeah, I loved it. I was like probably in 2013, no,
Okay.
2014 or 15. We got floor seats, my aunt and I, and it was with him and Trey Songz. They did like a collab tour. Oh my god, it was so good, so good. I loved it, obsessed. Think about it if you want to go, because I'm gonna let
How
you
much
know
are the
right-
tickets? I think that's
Well,
like
here's my thing. Where I would like to sit. Okay, so bad seats probably like 400. I'm not paying them. So
You said bad seats are 400?
correct, or maybe like 250, 3.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not paying 2, 3 to go sit up in section 400. Where I would like to sit is more like a 6. But hear me out.
I'm not paying $600 to
Me either. Me either. Hear me out. The concert is at Truist, 20 minutes away from me. 57 songs. I will buy tickets an hour into that concert for as cheap as I could possibly get. I am going, Jessica. My parents are here that weekend too. Like, if you got nothing going on, just be on standby because that's where I will be going. I told my husband, I was like, worst case, you're rolling up with me. We're getting these tickets so cheap. Like, well, not like so cheap. Like, I will wait till the last minute. Like, to get them at the lowest possible price I can get them. Because, like, some of these, like, one, I thought nobody even liked Chris Brown. Why are these tickets so much money of these resellers?
Oh, because everybody loves him. People love him. People, even though they say they hate him, people love him.
No, stand up
I love him.
and say you love him if you're going to love him. Because everybody, you know, like, no. You know, so, like, I was talking to my friends over the weekend about it. It's like I have been a dedicated fan since September of 2005. I remember exactly where I was. I was in the car. We were in Florida because we were there for visiting family. I was on the road and I heard Run It, Come On. And I was like, oh, I like this song. And then the next one came out. I think it was Yo, Excuse Me, Miss. And I was like, oh, I love this song too. And then I saw him and I was like, and I love him. I mean, you know, it's so
he
funny.
He was adorably cute. I mean, he really was. I couldn't look at him like that because I want to say he was like 14 or 15 when he came out, and I was definitely already out of high school and grown.
He was like 15,
but he was
16.
So cute. Yeah, but he was so cute when he came out.
He still is.
I mean, he is, but
yeah,
he's been
just handsome. Yeah. But like I remember, I was probably maybe like 16 at the time, 17 even. And I was like, oh, like, there's no chance. There's zero chance because he's 5 years older than me. Like, that was what was stopping me. Like, that's the reason it wasn't going to happen. Because he was 5 years older. And when you're 16, you know, like, 5 years, you know. That's
5 years is a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. Well, my husband is 5 years older than me. And I'm like.
So it could have happened.
There's a chance. There still is a chance. I just, like. And even I was, like, so pumped on this tour. And I was like, once they let him out of jail, because he just recently got arrested.
Yeah.
Which, for something old. But
yeah, and that was my thing. I was like, first of all, I don't even know why you were there, because I remember the news saying that he wasn't welcome in England.
Really?
And yeah, because of whatever happened, and that they were going to arrest him. And then I was like, why did he go there? Like, I was like, dude, I remember this.
They literally had to approve his visa just to arrest him. But, like, once they let him out, I was like, okay, this is back on. And I was, like, listening to all of his music, and I was just, like, vibing. My husband's, like, just, like, looking at me, and I'm, like, just all up in it. And then I was, like, respectfully, I love this man. Like, he's just so talented, and even, like, yeah, he's so attractive, like, I think, but it truly, take away the looks, he's so talented.
He is so talented.
I love his
really
voice. He's such a performer. I've seen him perform. I will never forget, like, the 2008 Grammys that he performed at. Like, it's burned.
He's a great dancer. He's wonderful. He really is.
I just love him.
A little problematic, but, you know.
A little problematic. I know.
I mean,
but I'm telling you, if the price is all that's holding you back, I will try my best. As long as you're on standby.
I'll be on standby. When
you know
is it?
What?
It's in August, right?
August, and then guess what? There's 2 back-to-back dates, Saturday and Sunday. He's going there. So if we don't get one, we're getting the next.
Get that.
Okay. And it's Labor Day weekend, so you're off on Monday, so you can go on the Saturday. Jessica, I've had this all planned out.
You've thought it.
I'm telling you, we got to go. I need to see this man perform.
I've never seen him, so.
I have to go see him again. It's been, I think the last time I saw him it's been a while. So, yeah. But that's my impromptu pop culture take, because I'm so excited. 20 years of Chris Brown, and
that's crazy. 20 years.
I know.
It's crazy.
And some of the songs on the set list are so good. And
I'm gonna have to look, because I saw you sent it to me, but I was in a meeting and I was like, look, and then I forgot. I have to make sure that I know them, and if I don't, I have to start listening to them.
Yeah, I will say there's a couple of new ones I'm not familiar with, but like I want to say, like, out of the 57, I know 38, and I feel like that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. So I mean, there's like some that are like random ones off that, like random albums that I listen to that I like. So I'm like surprised, but I'm like, good for me, because I know these songs. I love these songs. You know, if I know them, I like them. So yeah, I just got to do like a couple, like, you know, new ones, really, because I don't really listen to the new stuff. I think the last like album I listened to was like 2019. So
See, I think my husband listens to like the newer Chris Brown. Like he likes his new
really,
stuff. Yeah, so he knows he has like Chris Brown on his playlist, and I'm like,
he
what
want to come?
is this?
He can come. Oh my god, what a good date night. I mean, my husband had really, like, he sat through one Chris Brown concert, and he's just like, that's just, like, not his thing. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I
likes
don't
to
think my
listen to
husband
him.
would want. He doesn't mind him, but I don't know that he would want to go to a Chris Brown concert
Yeah.
and hear
I
all
do.
those screaming girls. It's kind of like him going to like a New Kids on the Block concert. He's not doing that with me.
Yeah. Oh my god. So obviously, like, you know, this is probably not known. We're both huge into New Kids on the Block, and
Which is so shocking because you weren't even like a thought when they
I
came.
think no, I'm pretty sure they broke up when I was born in 1994. But my mom was obsessed with them. She had all the tapes, so I would watch them, and that's how I became obsessed. And I've now seen them in concert like 6 times. And then I saw
crazy.
Jordan Knight once, like with Nick Carter on, because they like had that collab album, and I saw them with my aunt. I always go with my aunt and stuff. But yeah, like my uncle came with us one time, and he was like, I'm never doing this again. But he really went because he wanted to see Boys to Men because they opened. But, and I will say that I remember it was like 2 years ago. I think I was actually working with you. My aunt came to Atlanta. Yeah, my aunt came to Atlanta. We saw them at State Farm, and it was just like so not the vibe. Like, not to be like rude, but like Atlanta's not the vibe for New Kids on the Block, period. So it was just like, we were like, I think that might be like our end of it for us. Like, I think we're going to stop going to New Kids concerts because it's just like, they're getting old, you know, that kind of thing. And then we said, then they did a one night in Boston at Fenway Park. And my
You
aunt
went
and
to
I
that, didn't you?
Yes. My aunt and I were like, we're going to go to this, and this will be our last one because this is just like such an iconic thing. We went, Jess. It was our best concert that we've been to. It was so good. We were like, man, we might have to go to another one.
I've been to 3, and I would love to go to one in Boston. Like, that would be if I was going to go to another one, I would want to go to one in Boston because I feel like they put it all out there for Boston.
Yeah.
Since, like,
It was so
hometown.
good. And Belle Biv DeVoe was also one of the openers for them. And it was just so good. It was so good. It was a great concert. And I'm like, dude, do we go again? They do have a residency currently in Vegas, but like with my life, my aunt's life right now, it's
I'm
just
gonna
like
be honest. So I saw Boys to Men at a residency, and I don't know. Like, it was fun. I liked it, but I don't know. I feel like it was weird watching a residency. It's not like a regular concert. You know what I mean? Like, because you're like sitting down in a chair and. Like, nobody really gets up. Like, even when like Boys to Men had like their upbeat songs, they didn't get up because people are behind you. Like, you're not in like a stadium. It's just I don't know. I saw Boys to Men there, and I don't know. Maybe other people's is different. I wanted to see Mariah Carey, but my husband said no. I was like, but you love her. And he's like, yeah, but I like looking at her. But he's like, I don't like all her songs. And I was like, I love Mariah Carey. So I can, and even when my friend saw Britney Spears in Vegas, I don't think she got up and like danced and stuff.
Oh,
like,
no.
You're sitting, you know what I mean?
Oh, no. I had friends that went to go see Britney Spears, and they were like in the standing, and they were like,
did they?
Super close to her. And the same thing, my aunt went and saw J-Lo at a residency in Vegas.
Okay, so maybe it was just because Boys to Men are more like...
Yeah, I think it's just what the venue is, the vibe,
they're an older
all that
crowd,
stuff.
too. If you think about it, Boys to Men is like an older... It's for older crowds.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't know. But I definitely want to go see the Chris Brown concert. I'll sell my kidney or something. I don't care. Like, I'll never go see him again after this one, as long as I can go. Well, I need you on standby for Labor Day weekend because we gotta go to this concert. That's our episode, and if I'm not mistaken, Jess, that's episode number 10.
Wow.
This is 10. And also, by the time this episode comes out, it will be Father's Day will have had passed, so we hope everybody has had a wonderful Father's Day with their husbands and their fathers and grandfathers and, happy Father's Day. Stepfather, all the fathers in everybody's life. So, all right. We will talk to you next time.
Okay, bye.